What is happening here? What is happening here? A woman's fundamental health decisions are her own to make in consultation with her doctor, her faith, her family, not some right-wing politicians that Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell packed the court with. While Republicans seek to punish and control women, Democrats will keep fighting ferociously.
You know, I find it very admirable that you're gonna fight ferociously for women, and I have absolutely nothing bad to say about that. I just have one question though. What is a woman? Look, I know, that's a hard question, so let's ask the first black woman nominated to the Supreme Court.
No! No! This is not how this was supposed to go!
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
of what?
I'm not a biologist.
I'm not a biologist.
The thing that a lot of people don't like to talk about is the fact that not every Democrat is pro-choice, okay? So the ones that aren't, we really need to reassess if it's appropriate for them to continue to serve in 2022.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Being pro-choice means you agree with people making their own choices based on their own thought process. Following that logic, it means a Democrat can choose to be pro-life. So if you think it's inappropriate for a Democrat to serve because they choose to be pro-life, doesn't that make you anti-choice?
This chain of logic is correct, and what is correct is sacred.
A lot of men are apparently at a loss for words right now, which is really funny because I don't remember you being at a loss for words every time you beg us to go raw and get an abortion if we ever got pregnant. All because the condom hurt your little pee-pee.
You know, there's an easy fix to that problem. Just say no. But ladies and gentlemen, I get it. Sometimes hormones take over and you want to smash all natural. That's why, as a man, I always have the day after pill handy. Also, I only go raw with a woman I trust and is not allergic to the day after pill. But if it's a girl I've recently met and she wants it raw, I say no. It's that simple.
A bunch of old men overturned Roe versus Wade. A bunch of men took away my personal rights to health care.
Okay, first of all, it was for men and the woman. Second of all, they did not take away your healthcare. You can still go to the doctor for a myriad of healthcare procedures. They didn't even take away the option to terminate pregnancies. That option is still very legal in the United States. See, what the Supreme Court did is they took this hot potato of an issue from the Supreme Court
And we give it back to you, the people. Gotham is yours. None shall interfere. Do as you please.
which means you get to vote on this particular topic as you please in the state legislature. That's one of the perks of living in a federal republic. Laws differ from state to state. But another perk is that you can travel freely. So if your state has banned pregnancy terminations, you can go to another state that hasn't. I know, it's inconvenient, but hey, life can be a lot more inconvenient. For instance, if you live in rural Montana and you need complex spinal surgery, well, you might have to go to Los Angeles. In essence, it's the same thing. And don't worry, nothing changes in California or New York or any of the other blue states. But it did change in Missouri, and as far as I understand it, they had the trigger law in place which banned pregnancy terminations outright. with no exceptions for instances of forced copulation or relations between blood relatives. And yes, I am trying to avoid the buzzwords, because YouTube's algorithm has a tendency to go... So, I've watched a few videos on the issue of banned with no exceptions, and I found this response from a Missouri state legislator.
Violence doesn't solve other violence, and that the support that they need is not just to end the life of their unborn child.
Fascinating.
But this makes me curious. When the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, since violence doesn't solve violence, what were the Americans supposed to do about it? Write a strongly worded letter? Unfriend the Imperial Japanese Navy on Facebook? Also, try telling that line to a woman in one of those situations. It's not gonna be pretty. But while we're on this topic, those situations are very rare. So, let's look at this chart from the state of Florida that I initially found on Rollo Tomasi's channel and more recently on Fresh and Fit. This shows how many pregnancy terminations happened in Florida in 2021 and the reasons behind them. So let's read. The totals are 79,811 out of 79,811 terminations. 8 were due to blood relative relations. 118 were due to forced copulation. We have 119 terminations due to a life-endangering physical condition, and 757 terminations due to serious fetal genetic defect, deformity, or abnormality. These are the non-elective reasons for termination, which add up to 1,002 non-elective terminations out of 79,811 recorded terminations. Now, let's see why the other 78,809 terminations happened. First, we have elective termination, which means no reason given. The argument could be made that she didn't feel like keeping it, so she got rid of it. The number is 59,252. Then we have terminations performed due to social or economic reasons, 16,983. By the way, have you ever noticed that pregnancies resulted from a rich man's DNA rarely get terminated? Gee, I wonder why.
I need more money for my children. They're in activities, private school. I just need more money. And I'm not jealous of him or anything like that. That's what he said before, but I'm not.
You said they're in activities and they go to private school, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't it fair to assume that the $1,000 is covering that?
No, it's not.
So who needs the money, the kids or you?
Well, of course, I have to look good too.
Then we have terminations performed due to emotional or psychological health of the mother, 1,505. And lastly, terminations performed due to physical health of the mother that is not life-endangering, 1,069. So, in 2021, the state of Florida had 1,002 non-elective pregnancy terminations and 78,809 pregnancy terminations that could have been easily prevented with a condom. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these are facts. Do with this information what you will. But one of you guys asked my opinion on the whole thing, so let's read the comment, then I'll give you my opinion. From Hades, god of the underworld himself.
Name is Hades, Lord of the Dead. Hi, how you doing?
He writes, "Hey brother, love your content." Well, Lord Hades, I gotta say, I am flattered, and I really appreciate you being here.
How sentimental. You know, I haven't been this choked up since I got a hunk of moussaka caught in my throat.
He continues, "I'm wondering what's your thought from a man's perspective on our USA Roe v. Wade being overturned. Many modern women today are finally being held accountable with their 304 behavior and bedroom activities." Well, Lord Hades, there won't be any accountability because, like I said earlier, nothing really changes. Change would be if men actually had input on the matter, but as it stands, even with some more state-level inconvenience in place, women are still 100% in charge of who gets born in the United States. If the man wants to keep the baby and she doesn't, he has no say in the matter. If the man doesn't want the baby, but she does, he has no say in the matter, and he's on the hook for child support. But on the political side, it might change a few things, because before Roe v. Wade was overturned, the Democrats were looking at a red tsunami in November. As things stand now, that tsunami might not be so big, and I know a lot of conservative outlets and commentators like Ben Shapiro and Fox News say that this isn't an issue, because Americans are more concerned about gas prices and inflation. Well, I disagree with that assessment. Sure, logically it makes sense, and it does show in the polling data, but reality on the ground says otherwise. You see, there are people protesting out there. Are they protesting about Roe versus Wade? Yes. Are they protesting about gas prices? No. Are they protesting about women's rights? Yes. Are they protesting about inflation being at a record high, the highest level in over 40 years? No. So, in my opinion, the opinion of a European with no skin in the game and no political affiliation and who has no desire to influence anybody, the Supreme Court gave the Democrats a lot of oxygen ahead of the election. Will it be enough to win the elections? Probably not, but you never know. It could be a tight race, and I wouldn't rule out flashbacks of 2020. But in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, it would be so much better for everyone, male and female, if they would use contraceptives more often. Because a condom will always be cheaper than terminating a pregnancy. Use common sense.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.